What's up, fraternity? Welcome back to Fresh Fuzz, where I used to be a pro Major League Sports mascot in the NHL, but today we're going to do some stories and secrets of what it's like behind the mask of an MLB mascot. All right, so we're going to be ranking the MLB mascots, if you will. So I'm going to try my best to not be biased with these as well. But in the meantime, before we get that too far, we do need to say thank you to our MVP today. Our MVP is going to be, I mean, it might be the whole city. It might be the whole city of Miami, but Miami sent a comment and said thank you. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Miami. There we go. Had a little lag in it. But Miami, thank you for the comment. I appreciate you. They commented on our last version of this episode, so thank you so much. When we did the ranking of the NHL mascots, again, similar to the NHL mascots, I'm gonna have a tough time not being biased with this because I've worked with a few of these guys. Some of these guys are my favorite. One of these guys is actually my DM when we play D&D. Yes, we're nerds. We play D&D, but it's so much fun playing with mascots who do improv for a living, and it's so much fun. So again, gonna try and do it just solely on the mascot's design, nothing more than that, because I would be, I haven't seen all these people perform in person. I can honestly say that, especially those side characters, like the mini characters, the racers, all those, but I appreciate all of them. So we will be ranking solely based on the character design itself. When they appear, we'll also kind of split it up to main mascots and primary mascots. So we'll figure that out as we go. But we're also going to tell secrets and stories of what it's like with these mascots, or some of their backgrounds as well, without telling too much about them and themselves, because obviously I could go around and tell you each individual person's name. It's not going to happen. All right, maybe not each individual. I know most of the MLB, but I did not work in the MLB, so there's a few here and there that I don't know, especially the part-timers rather than the full-timers, because some teams just opt for a part-time performer, have somebody else run their schedule, do everything else for them, and they just come in. They, like, for example, when I was working for the Iron Pigs, when I started with the Iron Pigs specifically, the two primaries that did all the games, almost all the games, they missed like 2 or 3 games a year. That's it, out of the 71 or whatever it is. They were full-time teachers. They would come in and perform after work, and in the summer they had off of work, so it kind of worked perfect for them. But the first one we're gonna talk about, which is at the top anyway, I didn't reorganize these, even though you can, which is cool. But first one we're gonna talk about is Fuzz from the Tigers, which is a great one to start with, mainly because the former Fuzz was the mentor for me to get to the NHL. They were also winger for the the Capitals. So they worked in both of the leagues, and those were the 2 leagues I was kind of looking into to perform in when I was going into the league. I liked the idea of working in football, but I didn't have enough games for me to be really satisfied, because the games are the reason you do the job, right? The appearances are fun, but the games itself are worth it. But baseball, there's a ton of games, probably too many, so I was kind of leaning towards hockey anyway. Got into my dream league, which is great. Basketball, I like the idea of, but I didn't want to be too rough on my knees. They do all those dunking and stunts and stuff like that, so didn't want to do too much of that. So NHL ice hockey was perfect for me. That's why I loved it. That's probably why I performed as long as I did. The MLB probably wouldn't have performed as long as I did, because there's just too many games. But pause. Love the character design. It's very simple, very easy. The problem with it is it's very basic. You could pick this guy up, put a different t-shirt on him, take off the hat, and it might be Tony the Tiger on the Frosted Flakes, right? That's a big pet peeve for mine, including with Stanley. That was my biggest pet peeve with Stanley, is that it was just an okay character. It wasn't unique enough for me to really say it was great. It was just a Panther, and it's kind of the same thing with Fuzz. Just a Tiger. You take the jersey off, it could fit with any other high school or whatever you want there too. For example, the Fanatic then is my ideal S tier. Little biased with this one because I work for the Phillies in the minor leagues, but it's a great character. It's a unique look, designed by Sesame Street. If you don't know that, great video on here on YouTube if you want to check it out. It tells you all about it, about how much they paid, how much they ended up being offered after it was designed for the rights for the character, like $5,000 or something like that. They ended up paying like $300,000 or something like that. I don't. Those numbers might be skewed a little bit, but it's relatively that much for how much they ended up paying for the rights for the character. Pretty incredible. But the Fnatic, awesome character, great design, unique. If you take the character and put it in another jersey, you still would recognize it as the Phillies mascot. You know what I mean? That's the huge thing about it. It's got a lot of movement with the fur. It's long enough. It's, you know, got interactive things like the noisemaker. It's just a great character all around, right? Where if you look at Paws, very basic, like the character again, but it's just basic, right? And if you go over to another cat character, for example, the Slugger for the Royals, unique, right? Still a lion, but has a unique feature to it. So I'm going to bump him up all the way to the B tier. Very cool character, skinny character, which is not my preferred, but still a good design. Slugger with the extra R's, I think is a little tough for social media, not knowing how many R's to put at the end. But cool character, fun. Very simple but unique as well. Quality character. Met him at the Mascot Games in Orlando as well. Very nice dude, very cool, family man, been there a long time. Yeah, right, it deserves to be right up there with the Casey Wolf in Kansas City, as far as being a legend. All right, so Slider is next with the now Guardians, but he's still wearing the Indians jersey here. I met him at the Marlins game my first year in the pros as well, so that was pretty cool. Enjoyed working with him just for the one game for Billy the Marlin's birthday, and didn't have a ton of time with him. The one thing we did get to do though after the game, the Marlins bought us all dinner. We went out to a really nice dinner in Miami where it's expensive anyway. We ran up a $900 bill with like 6 of us there. It was great. It was fantastic. We got these chocolate desserts that were in it's like hollow ball of chocolate, and there was like ice cream in the middle, and they come over, they put like saran wrap on your table and go La Bomba, and then smash it on your table, and it's awesome. It was so much fun. We had a blast with it. It was a blast with it. Great character design though. I wouldn't put it quite S tier, but unique, looks cool, little old school. Love the big furry nose. The spots are cool. The pink is unique as well. Look at, there's no other pink character here. I like it. As opposed to the Fnatic, there's green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, multiple green as well. So I like the pink. I like that it's unique. You know, like the way it is. Southpaw, really cool, skinny character for sure. I think I'd prefer Slider over Southpaw, but the really cool thing about Southpaw, the funniest story, met him at Mascot Games as well in Orlando. Apparently Snoop Dogg went up to him and said, "You look like a nug a weed," is what he said, and I believe him. I absolutely believe him that he said that. If you don't understand, look it up, search it on your own, and tell me what you think. I don't participate, but if you look at him, I would believe it. Also, unique fur. He's got one of a kind fur. He's actually green, and then it has like yellow tips at the end, where the core part of the fur is green, little yellow parts at the top. Pretty cool. TC Bear, another cool one. Not as old school as Paws, but very basic as well. He's just a bear. You know, there's a lot of bears up in Minnesota, so I'm guessing that's why he's the bear. He's, you know, I don't know what else you do for a twin, so I like that they didn't like just make 2 humanoid people like the Phillies did with Phil and Phyllis back in the day before the Fnatic. This is like 60s, 70s, I don't know, whenever the year was. I don't think it was that old. 70s probably, early 80s maybe. Well, before they made the Fnatic, they had just 2 humans that were called Phil and Phyllis. Not ideal, right? So I'm glad they didn't do something like that, but very basic, kind of like the Twilight Paws. You could put them in a different character, or you could put that different character in any team, and it would qualify. We're gonna skip over this guy because he's not the main. It's the Barrel Man, I think is what they call him. But we're gonna skip over that and do the brewer himself, Bernie the Brewer, I believe is his name. I'm not a fan of humanoid characters. Like, if you're gonna use a human, just use a human. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna put him in D tier. Again, you could take him out and put him in any other team, and he would fit in. He's okay. He's okay. I mean, at least the swinging friar. He's a human, but at least he's unique. He's a monk. So he's a padre. He's a father. If he speaks Spanish, I don't know. He's better. I'm gonna put him above him, but again, just character designs. I think they both do a great job up there performing, but yeah, we're gonna leave him there. We're gonna leave him there at the bottom. It's just not my favorite. Not my favorite. Clark the Cub. Clark the Cub is very bear-like, but he's super childish looking. So I'm gonna put him top tier. Top C tier. He's good. He's good. It's great. It's a cub. What else do you want to do with it? It's a bear. It's a cub. You know, you really can't do too crazy with that. I probably would have done something different, like they did with the blues. I made him blue or something like that. I don't know if I was starting from the beginning, but he's good. Nothing spectacular about the character. Did meet him in Chicago at a conference. I had a conference at the Blackhawks / Bulls, and amazing facility there. He came and participated in the NHL conference there too for a few days. Great character, great person. Enjoyed all of it. I believe he's still there as well. Just character design, plain Jane, very Stanley-like. I mean, when I say these things, like I said, it's more criticism towards my character that I was in the NHL than it is towards theirs. It's just, they're okay, right? And we'll probably run into that as well when we get into the baseball heads. You know, Mr. Mets, Mrs. Met, all the Reds, Red Legs, and all those. I mean, we might as well just we'll go to those now, right? The Red Legs, I think he's the coolest as far as all they go. At least he's got a mustache, the old school hat. He's unique. You know, when it comes to I think his name's Just Red, where the other guy's Red Legs. Like, again, side to side, at least he's got something new about him and unique about him, where the mustache comes in or whatever it is. He doesn't have that. He's more plain Jane. Like, you switch, look at this. You switch the hat on these guys and the jersey, and you pretty much got the same character. The laces are even in the same spot. Like, it's pretty similar. So I'm gonna put them there. I think Rosie is next as far as unique looking. She's got at least the lipstick on her and the eyelashes, the old school haircut. And then Mrs. Met, I guess she has hair. Like, there's just not much to compare with all these, to be honest. You could, especially the last four, you could swap those jerseys and they would pretty much be the same. I would even argue with that with Mr. Red Legs. It's just they're a baseball uniform with a helmet, or a baseball head helmet. You know, plain Jane. Honestly, I think I'd still put Clark above them. Yeah, I think I'd put all these above them. They're just plain. They're probably high D if I had to say. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bump all these down to high D except for Mr. Red Legs. At least he's a little bit different. He's a different caliber, ever so slightly. I like Mr. Met him in Canada, actually. We went to the 40th birthday, I think it was, for UP from the Montreal Canadiens, which is cool. So we met there. Cool guy, awesome dude, had a lot of fun with him. He owns his own dance studio or something like that too, as from what I understand, as like a side job. So cool character, I guess. Plain is the best way to describe them. Fredbird, old school as heck, right? If he came out and looked like this right now, I would be hating on it a little bit, but old school, never has changed. I would put him character design, performing S tier, great character performer, been there forever, does a great job. I would probably drop him a little lower. I'm gonna go here, just because he was designed so late in the game, or so early in the game rather, right? And all the other characters are so different, and they've just stuck with it. You know what I mean? They've stuck with it. So I'm gonna pull it down. Might bump him down to B tier, but I'm gonna stick him with A tier just out of respect, to be honest. Out of respect. Let's go into. We're skipping over him, so we're going into here. This is Gapper from the Reds. See, this character here, as opposed to all the other ones, unique as heck, right? Unique, red, beautiful fur. Just, I'm a big fan. I'm just a big fan in comparison to the other characters. I don't know why they have so many characters. I don't know who their primary is, to be honest. If I had to guess, I'd say Gapper or Mr. Redlegs. No idea. I think this was the former, and then this is the primary now. I'm gonna put him up here though. Probably I like him better, I think, than Slider. As far as the character design, it's a Raymond style character. If you don't know what that means, it means their head sits right here in the neck of the character, like the human head. They see out that way. Let me see. There's a couple here. Blooper, you can see like shoulders here going across. Oh, I guess scroll down a little bit for you. Shoulders going across of the human, right? His head's not going to be up here. That would mean his neck is like 2 feet long, right? So his actual head is sitting right around here. We can see it's a little bit different fur, right? That's because he can see through that fur. Fanatic's the same way. You can't see it because his nose is in the way. You can see right here, there's a little bit of a gap here. I think that's his mouth. Maybe he sees out of the mouth, but a little bit different fur here. This one definitely sees out here. You can again see the shoulders are going across. So that's where he sees out of. Trying to think. Oh, Raymond has that as well. It's behind my note here. There my camera. So that's where his head is. So Raymond styles what it means, and what that means is Dave Raymond. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He's the first original Philly Fanatic. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna leave him there. Raymond styles are really cool characters. The pirate, the Pittsburgh Pirates parrot. Jeez, that's a lot of P's. Potter, Pittsburgh Parrot Potter. Anyway, I love this character, designed really well. Also designed by the same person that designed Iceberg. Similar builds. The Iceberg from the Penguins, if you don't know. So similar builds. He actually used to work for them and then went to the Penguins afterwards. So very cool style, old school as well. One of the OGs. I don't know that I would put him. I think I'd put him above Fredbird. I think I'd go there. I might drop Fredbird a little bit there. Yeah, we're gonna put him there. Awesome character design, just really neat, really neat. Messing with some kid on second, by the way. All right. Anyway, we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna skip over a couple here because we got a couple secondaries and go to Billy the Marlin. Billy the Marlin, a Miami character. I was in South Florida as well, in Fort Lauderdale, just north of Miami. 40 minutes or so. So we ended up at the same appearances a lot. The worst part of Billy is his head, by far. This is old school Billy too, so I'm going off of the old school Billy, because new one going D tier just because of all the information I know about him. It's just a terrible design character. I'm gonna put Billy though just above Mr. Redlegs. I would prefer this character over this one if I were performing, just because it's a little more unique, but there's a lot of stuff about it I do not like. He doesn't have fur. He just wears like, I don't know, it's like spandexy, almost like Under Armour, stretchy stuff. He just has like black gloves on, and his helmet is plastic. It's not good. It's not good. It's yeah, I don't know. Maybe I drop it down lower. I don't know. The new one, I'm gonna go old school here. New school, the one he has now, all the way about the bottom. They basically pay way too much for that character that they have now. It's still a plastic head. It's heavy. It's ridiculous. It's not well built. It's cracking all the time. The paint is fading on the new one. He wears oven mitts instead of having gloves now. It just looks like it was designed by, I don't know, I'd like to say a high schooler, just to be polite. It's just not good, and they pay too much for it. What I was told by the performer when I was there, they bought 2 heads for $50,000. Just to give you an idea, Stanley's whole body, head included, was about like $8,500, which is really cheap, to be honest. Stanley is really cheap, but you can get 3 Stanleys for the price of 1 helmet there. It would always break. It was always break. It didn't do what it was supposed to. It was supposed to be able to wink at one point, and they went and showed it to Derek Jeter, who was just taking over the team when they switched. And it has like a pull string, right down here, and you pull on it, and it makes him wink, which is great, right? I look special when I was trying to wink there, but you know what I mean. Anyway, he was supposed to be able to do so, and then his eye got stuck, so he's just walking around with his eye closed, and Derek Jeter's like, what is going on? Get this thing out of my office. It was that bad, right? So, new school, all the way down here. I would put it in F. It would be the only character I put in F tier. And I think the performer honestly put it in F tier too. And then I'd put old school Billy, I'd put it a little higher. At least it's unique. I will say that it's unique, it's heavy, it's bulky, it's, you know, nothing performer friendly about it, I guess is the real thing, but you know, whatever. I love the old performers. I love all the old performers, but that I knew while I was there, but it's just not a good character design. It's just not. It's not. Let's see. I'm gonna take at least the new school one's not good character design. We're going to Blooper. Blooper I like a lot. I really do. He's really neat. He has a lot of interactive stuff. Very baseball. Not a big fan of the color, but at least it's unique. I just think it'll get dirty. I'm gonna put him low A tier. Low A tier. He's fun. He's cool. He's goofy. Good design. The Shrek ears that poke out with noisemakers are fun. A lot of just fun stuff with that character. Really well designed. I know the guy that designed it. He's with the Sharks now, believe it or not. But awesome dude. Then we got the Screech. Screech is who we got. All right. Screech is funny because we used to call it his O face. Because he's just walking around like. But he's a good design of an eagle. Again, you can take him and put him in pretty much any team. He's a little more unique than that. But yeah, maybe I put him below Slugger. He's B tier. He's B tier for sure. He's better. He's more unique than these characters for sure, like Clark the Cubs. But he's an eagle. He's a skinny character eagle. Nationals, I get it. Good theme there, but you also have another eagle with the Capitals right there with Slapshot. So if you compare them side to side, Slapshot's way more unique. He's got the stars on his tail. He's just different. He's just different. He's just unique. That's what it is. But the cool thing with Screech is the guy before him had shirts that said Uncle Screech for his niece and nephew. I thought it was adorable. Awesome. Anyway, I thought that was cool. Ace is cool. Ace is with the Toronto Blue Jays. I think he's pretty cool, pretty unique. I don't love the design. At least he's unique, but he's a Blue Jay. I mean, you put him on any other Blue Jay, I guess he's different. I don't know why he has a blue beak instead of a or something like that, but looks like he has a lot of vision. I think all this gray here is where he can see out of, which is nice, very performer friendly. I don't know. I think if you went and looked at at UD over at the University of Delaware, I think you'd run into very similar, and I think UD even looks more expensive than an MLB character, so that's why I'm putting him lower. Yeah, I don't know. I also am a little biased too because they didn't let the LA Kings name their character Ace because they had Ace already, which is okay, but the reason the LA Kings wanted to name him Ace was because they were naming it after a guy that passed away during 9/11. So I don't know. I think I would have bowed out to that. Who knows? I guess maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But you know, here we are. They found out. They named it Bailey anyway about for the other guy still because his name is Ace Bailey. Whatever. Maybe I'm a little biased there. I'm trying not to be biased. All right. I'm doing my best. Anyway, the bird. The bird is really fun. I met him at the minor league birthday party for the Phantoms for the Flyers. He was there. Awesome guy. Really nice as well. I'm gonna put him low B tier. I don't love that he's just called the Bird, but he is old school as well. He hasn't changed much since he came out. Fallen in the range of Fredbird, but Fredbird's way older of a character. It's cool. It's a cool character. A lot of vision there. Big orange. I love the colors. I mean, obviously go with those colors with the Orioles, but it's not super unique, I guess. I feel like I keep going to that. I love the uniqueness. Look at all these up here. I'm sticking with the uniqueness. I like the long fur. I think it adds natural movement to your character as well, even when you're not moving. So it's just always animated, I guess, is the best way to say it. I do like the colors. I don't know. I think I'd still prefer Screech and Slugger over him. Yeah, we're going there. I'm satisfied with B tier. If you guys aren't satisfied with what I'm saying, okay. Come after me. No, I'm just playing. It's cool. Comment in below. I want to know. Do you think the Mets should be much higher? Tell me. If you think Fnatic should be lower, I don't believe you, but tell me. You know what I mean? Raymond is awesome. I actually really like this character. My girl does not. Ray does not like Raymond design. I think he's cool though, considering he's supposed to be a Ray and he doesn't really look like one, but it's still fun and animated, and I think the performer's amazing. Also, it's my closest team now that I moved farther away from Miami. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. He's cool. I think he has a really cool thing where he can actually eat as well. Like when I was at the game for him, his birthday, the one time he was grabbing chicken fingers and literally just shoving them in his actual mouth. He was eating chicken fingers while performing, because why not? He can. He had a hole in his mouth. Similar to Stanley, where I had the magnets and it would open up. He just has an opening that this fur covers enough that you don't see his face. Hilarious though. He can just eat chicken fingers or drink a soda or whatever he wants to do when he's there. I think he's fun though. The fur actually is sparkly too, which I like glitters. Glitter gets everywhere, so yeah, love it. All right, Wally, great name. I'm gonna skip over Tessie, come back to her, because Wally's technically the primary. Great name, decent design, kind of old school. I like his eye black too. He's got the eye black on his face. Where am I gonna put him? Oh, I don't know. I think I go up here with Slugger and Redbird. He's old school as well. Great name, named after the Green Monster. He is a Green Monster. I like that they went with that. I would probably do slightly smaller head and longer fur, but then I'd just be making the Fnatic, I guess, or Southpaw. But I like the color. I think he's cool. I love the orange hair as well. I think that's fun. There's a nod to the Irish in Boston, I think, which was where Tessie comes in too. She's very similar. I think she's a great design. They're almost identical. She's just a female version of Wally, so I'm gonna put them together. Great characters. Performer is awesome as well. I live near the Red Sox training camp, so I will definitely be going to see Wally soon, and my boy who used to be in the NHL there too. So definitely gonna check it out. He's definitely a good homie. Gonna go check out the Red Sox when the team is down here for training camp. All right, Captain. I like Captain. Horse characters are tough. I will say that. They got long snouts. I think he's cool. His vision is pretty neat. That white line is actually where he sees out, and his mouth. So he's got pretty decent vision. Skinny character. I don't think he would, fit too far outside if you just took him and put him with the Broncos or the Colts, or I don't know. Heck, with the Texans, it probably even fit there. Who knows? It just doesn't fit outside too much, so I'm gonna put them probably above Billy, but C tier. Its performer's awesome. One of the best karaoke guys I've gone to karaoke with too. Awesome character, performer, etc. One of the nicest dudes I've ever met as a performer too. Hands down nicest guy in the MLB. I'll say it right now. He's just such a nice dude. And there's some actual sweethearts in the league too. I can honestly say Fnatic's a sweetheart. Raymond's one of the funniest dude. The Bird is super nice. I was in the minor leagues and he was super nice to me. Not saying a lot of these pros are not nice to minor leaguers, but some of them are not. They don't give you this respect. Cubs is pretty nice. Billy the Marlin, he's a homie now. The guy that performs, super nice, and the old guy before him when I started in the league was super nice. There's some real sweethearts out there. That's all I'm saying. All right. The Moose I actually applied for, never heard back from when I was going for the pro job with the Panthers. Never heard back from him. I think I was too tall for him, to be honest. I was like 4 or 5 inches too tall for their liking, which is fine. I thought maybe. I also was like 6 inches taller than the Stanley before me, but the Stanley before him was 6 inches taller than him as well. So it kind of just had like 6 years of Stanley going being real short and then coming back up. So whatever. But Moose, never heard from him when I applied. No big deal. They must have found somebody that's amazing, because I think they're still there. Have not met them yet, but great character. Easy. I think he's too resemblance of Bullwinkle or something like that. There's nothing really unique about him either, but I would put him with Clark. Like they're cute, they're nice looking. They're not just like a basic, panther or a tiger, bear, etc. I think they look a little more expensive as well. I think they're well built, but very plain Jane. Orbit's amazing. Former Stanley Panther too. He went from the Panthers to the Astros, which is cool. I think he's really cool. Performing wise, I think he's goated. He's up here, absolutely. But we're not going off of performance. We're going off of the design. So I'm gonna say his head is too big for my liking. I think it's cool that the antennae are popping out and they have like baseballs and look like Saturn. I think those are neat. I think his hat that pops off is really cool. I think the fur is nice. Color, I like him all around. I think he's adorable as well. But I think the head's too big for my liking. I would start doing a smaller head. So I'm gonna go down here. I think he's still one of my favorites, but not S tier for sure. For sure, I like all these other characters a little bit more. Ooh, all right, we're getting into the final stretch. I guess let's go Stomper first before I get too excited about that last three. Also, I have no idea who this is. Can anybody tell me who this is? I have no idea who this is. We're going just down there for now because I don't know who that is. If you could tell me, please let me know. I have no idea who that is. All right, Dinger. No, we're starting with Stomper. I'm getting too excited about Dinger. Dinger's a good homie of mine. Stomper. I think he's cute. The trunk is very erect, I guess. He's pretty cute though. I don't know how many other teams you could put an elephant on, so I wouldn't necessarily put it down here with these. There's not a lot of elephant teams. You know, Tufts University maybe. Who else? Alabama, right? I think they have elephant. I think that's it though. Like there's not a lot of fits there. So I would go up here. I think I'd go above the bird, but not quite as far as Screech with that one. Don't know much about Stomper. I know the A's used to be in Philly. We'll just like leave it at that. Don't know a lot about the A's. They're there. And they're on the other side of the U.S., so I don't see much of them, and probably won't, to be honest. Excuse me. Over there as well, Lucille. I'm just gonna group these together because they're in the same area. They're in the Bay Area. For example, very similar gray characters. Lucille, I think, is really cool though with his sunglasses. I think he's more robust, so I think he's cuter. I think his face is a little less of a statue, I guess. There's more emotion to it already. So I'm gonna bring him like up a whole tier. I don't think he's quite Orbit level, but he's a tier up from Stomper. You know what I mean? Just the design. He's cute. If you guys don't know anything about Lucille but like mascot content, go check out Behind the Mask. First season, I think it is. First season, you see a lot about Lucille. He's the pro character in that one. Second season is Bango, and Bango does a whole bunch of stunts and stuff like that. Awesome character though, really cool. Inspired me to get into sports, that show, and actually go full time as a mascot. So Dinger's one of my homies. I think he is, as far as cute factor, S tier. I think he's adorable. I love the purple. I think he's cute as heck. I think his head is humongous though. He comes into the same range as Orbit with the giant head. Cute, chubby, adorable. I love the color. Unique. I don't know another Triceratops character for sure. You know, it's not just a monster like all these that are just unique designs. You know, this one I think is the most accurate to the animal. As a dinosaur, an animal? I'm gonna call it an animal. And still unique. You know, it's not just like a bear. So I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. The fact that they're the Rockies and have a dinosaur named Dinger, I think that's cute. His head also sits on a Lazy Susan. So there's like a Lazy Susan on the top, which is like a spinning table if you don't know what a Lazy Susan is. So that's why he can spin his head around. So you don't know, he can actually spin his head around 360, which is pretty cool. Which is why it's so big, I'm sure. But it's a one bit, I think, for the sacrifice of having a huge head. So I don't know how often he spins it, but he better spin it a lot if he's going to do that, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, but maybe he loves it, maybe he doesn't. No, I've never asked him, to be honest. I think it's unique. Baxter is really cool. He actually has real eyes, so I think that's super unique, especially in this league. NBA has a couple characters that do that. The Bear, Jazz Bear. Who else? The Yeti used to be. The Grizzlies. I think there's a couple of them, but Doesn't matter. Real eyes, which is cool. Baxter, he puts on like eye black, and then the mask comes down almost like Chewbacca. So it's his actual eyes looking out, but he doesn't have like, it's like fixed to his face, you know what I mean? But it doesn't show anything but his eyes, which is really cool. So I think that's really unique for this league, especially. I like this one a lot. I almost wanted to do Stanley like this one too. I would put him up here as far as character design, because you do that, it brings it from here, right? Just being a basic Bobcat can go with any team all the way up. So I'm tempted to put it up here. I think I would. I think it's really cool. His skinny character too allows him to wear a lot of different costumes. He has the budget for it too. I think that's a really cool design. Very unique, and just does a lot with it. So I'm gonna put him up there too. I almost did this with Stanley. Really wanted to pitch it and just didn't. I just didn't, because they wanted Stanley to be more. I think the word they used was masculine or tough, something along those lines. And I was like, okay, what's that mean? And then they just didn't tell me more. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna come up with a couple ideas. I called the old jazz bear and said, did you like it? And he's like, yes, loved it. I want to do it again. You know, I would do it again, rather. All right, all the rest ones are going to be in our own category here because they are secondary characters, right? So if I put one above another character that's a primary, I'm just putting them in there because they're secondary characters, right? I don't think necessarily the pierogies, for example, they're gonna rank higher. They're gonna be, I don't know, probably here, B tier, because I think they're funny for what they are. And I might go here because they're very cheap looking. But I don't think they're better necessarily than these guys, but they're better than whatever I'd put in the lower level for the secondary characters. Just imagine it's split is what I'm saying, right? I think the S tier for secondary characters is gonna be DJ Kitty. I think he's adorable. I think he's cool. I think he's fun. His videos are hilarious. Also know the performer really well, so a little biased there too, but awesome design. Well done. Round of applause for DJ Kitty there. Junior from the Blue Jays, I think he's gonna be our B tier here, or A tier rather, second tier. He's cool. He's very unique, or he's very much like the Blue Jays over here. He's not too unique like DJ Kitty, but you know, I think he's cute. I think he works well. He looks like they actually put the money into it as well, unlike the Raze other choice here. I don't even know what this guy's name is. I forget, but he's just a, I don't know, he's just a Ray. He's okay. We're gonna put him at C tier. He's cute, I will say that, but he looks very cheap. He looks like he's just an aquarium mascot that they spent like $500 on, maybe. Speaking of which, $500 probably would have bought you the squirrel too. He's cute. He's cute. But it looks like they bought it online. They look like they bought a helmet and then just put some fur gloves on. I don't know. He's cute. He's cute. I'm gonna hope this character here is old school, but if he's not, the barrel man who's just based off the logo, weak. If he's old school, I'd bump him up here. I don't know anything about this character. He just comes out every once in a while, I'm guessing. So I'm gonna put him in D. I don't think he's great. I think he's at best. I think he's at best, but yeah. If he's old school and designed that way, all right, but I'll give him a pass. But if he's new school, yeah, we're giving him the old fart. We're giving the where is it? Yeah, the farts. Anyway, the sausages, I think they're cool. They're fun. The races are always great. Pierogies, sausages, or presidents. They look like they put some decent money into them, but not a ton. They look like they're decently easy to run in. Their characters are unique, each one, but they're not quite the racing presidents, which I think I'd put the presidents above Junior here. But they fit well. They fit well to the brand. They designed their characters to be unique. Teddy Roosevelt being the lovable loser for the races too. Their videos are fantastic. Their skits when they run are great. I mean, it helps that the team was really good for a while too. They had the All-Star game. They've had a lot lately that has boosted them, that's for sure. And I'm gonna give them A tier. They do a great job for just a racing character that come out once a game to run, and that's probably about it. Maybe they do some pregame or something like that, but they're great. I'm gonna say they're great, and you know, they do a great job on that. I got nothing more to say about it. I mean, I'm leaving it at that. All right. Anyway, that's what we're gonna leave it there. If you guys agree with these or disagree, make sure you comment below so you can be the next MVP, just like Miami up there. And thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for watching all the way through. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please do. If you don't follow over on Twitch, please do. If you don't know about all my other social media, please find out about it. Over on Discord too, we chat about it all. Thank you so much for all for watching. You guys are important in my life. I hope I'm important in yours. But don't forget, it's not just a channel, it's a fraternity. See ya!